technology and digital tools, whilst in the past I think they were very much part of the process, they've now become essential to the development of our students. And this really means connecting students with, for example, their teachers, ensuring that pupils are connected to one another, but also having access to the resources as well as some of the materials. Incredibly important when you think about some of the digital inequity and some of the learning that is really required from a success point of view for the future. Look, I think in the past 2 years, many learners have really experienced the grave impact of the pandemic on education specifically. School closures, when you think about it, caused interrupted learning, which I think was very, very disruptive. And many of those schools just weren't prepared for homeschooling, as an example, and others just didn't have access to infrastructure, albeit internet or even devices or technology. Now, as we move into a more hybrid way of working and learning for that matter, I think it's going to be important that as things start to normalize and as we continue to develop new skills and capabilities around remote working and learning, these skills won't be lost. These skills will be incredibly important for the transformation of our future as we start to improve around elements of digital equity and as our students, our learners and aspiring entrepreneurs get access to new materials as well as infrastructure. When you look at Africa, there's 223 million youth between the ages of 15 and 24. And ultimately, these are ambitious, aspiring, energetic future entrepreneurs. And what we're seeing is a grave difference between their ignorance and understanding of a PC versus a smartphone. And so Africa First Time Buyer was really born to ensure that we could drive computer literacy. And essentially what we're trying to do is highlight the importance of how a PC can really help advance their lives with regards to learning or even from an entrepreneurial point of view. What I would advise parents to look out for when they are considering a new PC or laptop or notebook are the following items. I think firstly, making sure that the processor that you're looking at is a current generation. So you're looking at an i3 and above. Secondly, I would absolutely advocate decent capacity on all of those devices. Around 1 terabyte, I would say, is very important. I would also say that having wireless connectivity, extremely important. Given the fact that we live in Africa, there's a lot of load shedding and power constraints. Make sure that you do look out for a decent battery life. Future-proof your device by looking at things like a USB Type-C port. Just make sure that this does exist on the device. Cameras are becoming an essential part of every single item that we purchase these days. Get the screen size that you're really comfortable with. I would also call out that durability matters. And the last thing that I would just mention is around security. We all understand that cyber attacks are in the increase, so critical just to look at these elements. As the world continues to adapt to a virtual way of working and learning, technology is going to become even more important. And it's going to allow some of the emerging markets like South Africa and the African continent the opportunity to even leapfrog some of the developed type world, which I think is important. And HP Life, we have 30 online courses around computer literacy to help learners. I really joined HP on the basis of the company's visions and their goals. And having been there for a year now, I can absolutely see HP is incredibly committed to driving the advancement of digital equity across Africa. It's so important that we provide access to technology in order to advance entrepreneurship, as well as to advance learning. So important from a computer literacy point of view. And it goes beyond the device. It is also about understanding the curriculum, providing learning paths and platforms to allow all of this youthful spirit that we have across the continent the opportunity to really accelerate their aspirations as well. So as HP, we committed to this journey.